All right, so I'm back and I'm going to give you a demo of the cash on cash return by bedroom. So I'm on jamesor.com on the homepage, and if you scroll down, there's this section here that says cash on cash returns by bedroom. And I'm going to pull up, Fort Collins, 4 bedrooms for now, or Fort Collins, 3 bedrooms. That sounds good. And I can click on the link, or I can just control click, and it'll open up in a new window. And realize that it may take a little bit to load because it's doing a bunch of calculations when you load up that page. So here's the interface for doing, searching by cash on cash return. You select the city you're interested in. In this case, we're doing Fort Collins. You select the number of bedrooms, and the reason why you're selecting bedrooms for 2 reasons. Number one is it is the a smaller number of properties to run the analysis on, because if we did all the bedrooms all at the same time, it would take a lot longer to load the page. But then also, we're going to put in an estimated rent, and I think estimating rent by the city and the number of bedrooms is a lot better than just estimating rent across 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms and 4 bedrooms and 5 bedroom homes. And so you're going to put an estimated rent here in a second. So we're doing Fort Collins 3 bedroom homes. Put in the amount, the percentage you're going to put down. In this case, 20 means 20%. The interest rate you're going to get from your lender. In this case, we're going to get 4.625%. Find out from your lender what that interest rate is. And if you're going to do less than 20% down, I'd suggest you run your interest rate with PMI included in it. But if you're not, then definitely run it however your lender is going to tell you to do it. If you have questions about that, come call me. Maintenance rate, so we're going to put in 12%. That's 12% of the rent that we are collecting. We're going to set aside for maintenance on the property. Occupancy rate, 97%, which means the property is vacant 3% of the time. So 97 there. And then rent, in this case, Fort Collins, 3 bedroom properties, it defaults to 1,600. That's probably a little bit low right now. Let's bump it up to 1,700, which is probably still a little bit low. And then the other thing you can do is you can also do a rent per square foot. So if you have big properties, they're going to rent for a little bit more than tiny properties. And so you can say, I want rent to be 95 cents per square foot. And then it will actually calculate what that rent is here when I show you in a minute. And it's going to tell you what that is. And then for now, just leave chart type as price per total square foot. You can do no chart. You can also do taxes per price as well. But right now, we'll do price per total square foot. If you want to minimize your price range, hey, listen, I'm only going to buy a $200,000 to $300,000 property, so I might as well not even look at the other ones. You can go ahead and do that. But then once you're done, you click Show Properties, and the page is going to load, and it's going to eventually show you the new results at the bottom here. So here's a chart. I'll talk about that chart in a minute, but for now, let's scroll down a little bit more. So basically, what happens is the software I wrote goes out and it starts analyzing properties that are listed for sale in the MLS to determine what the cash flow would be on them and what your cash on cash return is. And it's going to show you those numbers right here, and it's going to sort them in order by the highest cash on cash return. So for example, 4.87% cash on cash return, that is the highest cash on cash return of all the 3 bedroom properties in Fort Collins using the assumptions you have entered above, right up here. Okay? So if we're looking at that, so basically what it says here is rent is $1,700. That's what you entered above. The cash flow, based on the assumptions you entered, is $218 and change. And then our cash on cash return is 4.87%. Now, what if you want to say, hey, I don't understand how you got that, James. Let me show me the numbers. So what you could do is you can click on this buy and hold link. And what the buy and hold link will do, I did a control click in order to open a new window so I didn't lose my spot. But it basically pulls up a version of Brian's spreadsheet that you can analyze the property right on my website. And we enter in all the numbers for you so you don't have to re-enter them all in. So basically, this property is for sale for $245. You're going to buy it for $245. The net purchase price is going to be $245. In this case, we did 0 for seller concessions. You can enter in a number there if you wanted to. You put your down payment percentage. In this case, 20% down. Tells you what the down payment amount will be. Closing costs, $4,900. It estimated that using just a percentage number, but you can go ahead and change those numbers and adjust them. If you have rent-ready costs, it needs new carpet or something like that, you can put that in there. If you're collecting a lease option fee, you can put that dollar amount in there. Then it shows you the total amount that you would need for an upfront investment. Tells you what your loan amount would be. I'm not going to reteach you deal analysis. Brian did all this last week, but I'm just showing you that it's all the same stuff. It's right here. There's your loan amount, which calculates it for you. Here's the interest rate you entered from before. This is the loan length, 30 years. Monthly rent, $1,700. 97% occupancy rate, 12% maintenance. In this case, we did no property management. This is what your principal and interest payment per year is and per month. This is the property taxes on the property per year. This is per month. Insurance estimated. This is your per month number for that. If you have an HOA, you put it here. If you have utilities, you put it here. Maintenance reserve, this is how much is being set aside. This is how much you're spending on property management. So it shows you your profit right here per year and per month. So you can go see that. And then it shows you, gross potential income, gross operating income, operating expenses, NOI, net operating income, debt service coverage ratio, cap rate, cash flow, and then cash on cash return. Does all the calculations for you. You could do some assumptions about, a long-term investment plan, what rent is going up per year, what expenses are going up per year, what price is going up per year, your lease option extension fee, and if you have a sales cost, what that is per when you actually sell the property. And then it shows you down here your long-term analysis. Shows you year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and shows you your monthly rent, your sale price, your loan balance, your initial investment, your sales cost, and what your total profit would be on each property by year if you had sold the property at the end of that year. So it really does everything Brian's spreadsheet does. There's a couple things that he recently added, which I'll eventually add in here. But it's an online tool that does it all for you without you having to do it. So this is the 1,700 rent, the cash flow number, the cash on cash return. You can go click on this to see that analysis in detail. You can also look up comps for this property by going here. I'll look up comps for another one over here. And then you can also see how this property would do as a nomad by clicking on this, which I'm not going to get into today. We'll probably teach more of this on the nomad class. But realize that it does all of the charts and analysis as if you wanted to do nomad on it for you automatically. So it runs all the numbers for you. Okay, so you can go look at that on your own. This is the pricing tool that does comps. In my opinion, this is actually the best pricing tool that's out there. It's what professional real estate agents should be using in order to determine comps. It's a visual comping tool. And so it has a bunch of comp data. You can go drill down and see the properties and see them side by side. But I'll cover this when I go over the comparable sales tool itself. I'll cover this in a totally different class. But you can see it. You can go look up comps by doing this, clicking on pricing right here. And so still on this one property, this is if the rent was on a price per square foot. You entered in 0.95 above, it actually calculates what that rent would be and figures out what your cash flow and your cash on cash return would be. And if you want to see how that would analyze out, you just click on buy and hold there. If you want to see the pricing tool for that or Nomad, you can go click on those numbers and see. Now, if you want to see more details on this property, you click view the property and you can add it to your favorites on my site. You can get additional information, send it to a friend, schedule a showing, look through all the photos, see if you like the inside, look at all the details of the property and see additional information, see where it is on the map, walk score, street view, and so on and so forth. And so it really is a great tool if you're searching for properties by cash on cash return. And I give this to clients. Clients can log in and use this anytime they want for doing it. And you can see the newest properties on there for cash on cash. Okay, so that's the demo of the cash on cash return. You could do it for any city here that we cover and any bedroom configuration and just use your numbers for that. So let's get back to the main presentation.